Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm Val.
And my name is Mandy.
And this is We're All Strangers podcast.
Navigating life together.
And here today we are with
Lex Dixon.
Whoop whoop.
And what are we doing today?
Navigating career in the arts together.
Yes.
I want you to kind of introduce yourself a little bit, your age, your major, whatever you want to say.
Well, I'm 21. I was majoring in theater, but I actually graduated last May.
Oh.
So now I'm navigating the world.
Oh, look at that. We did not know that.
I'm just kind of doing music. I write and release music onto a little artist named Killing the Kitchen, just on streaming platforms and social media and all that fun stuff.
Whoa. Hold on. We'll put that all in the description so you guys can listen too. That's cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of my focus at the moment, and I'm just kind of figuring out finding my place in the world.
So you finished your AA or AS in theater?
Yeah, I got my AA, and then I'm still I just show up. Sometimes that's why you saw me in the show recently.
Yeah.
So I just kind of show up. I'm still doing choreography for the opera theater workshop class, so I'm around.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they have their little interconnections. You know, I'm over here. I saw her play. I will say. So, I mean, I guess I am interconnected in some way. But super cool. This is really cool.
Yeah, I feel like when you're, not even in, I was going to say when you're in like the arts major, but even the medical field, like we're all connected somehow, some way.
We all know somebody of somebody.
Yeah, you know somebody.
But that's what's so important in your guys' careers, because like that's how like your careers are, through networking. Exactly. Like you literally build connections by knowing people. So it's good that your name is known, because that means that people. Yeah.
Lex is here because of Cameron. Cameron, who was on our podcast episode, that was a little while ago, actually.
I think he was like our second interviewee.
Oh yeah, that was very beginning of our podcast. But so because of you, Cameron, now Lex is here. So.
Yes. So we're gonna start first things first, is we do the icebreaker question. So look away and pick as you choose.
No peeking.
I definitely wanted this color, so I don't know what it says. I just like this.
Oh gosh, I'm a little nervous. Okay, let's see. I think yeah.
Okay.
That side. That's my bio notes. Don't mind.
Every time she has to warn somebody. Oh, sorry, I wrote in my bio notes.
It's funny. So what's the best thing you've got going on in your life at this moment? This is actually the perfect question.
Oh, okay, yay.
Well, like I said, I'm kind of doing music and stuff, and so right now, I think in August is when I started actually putting myself out there as an artist. It was kind of just like a side hobby for fun. But I started doing gigs and reaching out to places to perform, and I just DM'd people. I was like, hey, how can I perform at your venue? And I started performing places. I just started meeting people, and in November I actually got signed to a music management, and yeah.
Awesome. Wait, what?
Yeah, because they reached out to me because they saw me perform somewhere, and they're like, hey, we would love to have you on our little label.
I'm sorry, but that has to be the most rewarding feeling in the world.
Oh, 100%. I was like, if you even told me a year ago, maybe a couple months ago, I would not believe you. I'd be like, it feels insane every time I think about it or say it out loud too.
Wait, so this music management, what does that entail for you? What are you signing and agreeing to?
Basically, they have a recording studio, so I go there to record my music, and they help me promote it. There's the option to do music videos and stuff, and then they plan gigs for me also, outside of me planning my own gigs. So it's more just having more connections.
Yeah,
honestly.
That's. You okay over there?
Sorry, I feel like this is so movie-like. When I hear people talk about recording and music management, this is so different.
Yeah, I was right before this podcast, I was just telling Val. So this week I'm going to Atlanta, Georgia for a bunch of film stuff, and I did the same exact thing. I just DM'd people, especially if I had at least some type of mutual of a producer, I would check their mutuals and then their mutuals, and it's just a lot of digging and DMing, and then I got 2 to 3 responses back, and I'm gonna be meeting up with a few of them for coffee, and it's so cool. And right now I'm just sitting and having a conversation with them, but who knows down the road, what opportunities they can get me. So good on your part, because that is such a helpful tool that social media brings you.
Have you guys ever been in a situation where you have reached out to someone and it's gone bad?
No, not exactly. I mostly just had open-ended conversations, where they'd just be like, oh yeah, just email us, and I never hear back.
Okay.
I don't think everything's been negative. It's just been nothing.
See, and that's why I feel like you should never be afraid. You should never, because it will never hurt you in the end. It will only benefit you. And so what? And they haven't even said no. Like I was gonna say the worst that can happen is they say no, but half the time they'll just be like, oh yeah, sure, maybe next time, and it's like it is whatever. Yeah. But like the doors that it can open for you is like wow.
I don't think I've had anything weird, but I know I've had because I do photo shoots on the side, and I had brand ambassadors DM me, and I'm sure I know a lot of people already get those brand ambassadors where they comment on your photos collab with us with a bunch of heart emojis. Yeah. So it's hard to differentiate what are the real ones and what are not. And I had a good 3 real ones actually that I just promoted their brand, but I actually recently just wanted to go check up on them because I was like, okay, this was kind of years ago. I wonder how their brand's doing. And one of them's Instagram account was completely deleted and gone. And not that that's anything bad on me, but I'm definitely that was weird. I was an ambassador for a good month. I had my own code. My pictures were on their website. It was a super cool thing. Now I have no idea what they are up to. So a little fishy, a little sketchy, but I didn't lose any money.
I've always wanted to send one of those things whenever they comment on my thing. I'm like, maybe I get a little code. I can give you guys a little discount. I always think that's pretty funny. But all right, we're gonna
dive in now.
We're gonna get into the questions.
We didn't actually even get into our answers for the icebreaker.
Oh, what's the best thing going on in your life at the moment?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
What about you?
Best thing that's going on for me, honestly, So I think if we want to base off the networking aspect again, I think even in medical school, people say I'm pre-med, and so with that field specifically, right now it's very curriculum focused. I need to be focusing. Sorry, car. I need to be focusing on my studies and everything, but you don't realize there's also a lot of networking within that. Oh, yeah. And I just recently started traveling. And it started off with, I studied abroad, I traveled, just family-wise, but now I've had a lot of opportunities, traveling-wise for medical missions trips, and I'm just meeting a lot of people that are giving me more opportunities to go on these trips, and there's just, I've opened up this, world of traveling, and I'm just meeting more people who give me more opportunities and so many more things to do while I'm traveling. It's not just me going and it's a vacation. It's I'm actually doing stuff, and so it's so cool because I can I'm already planning my summers out and planning my spring breaks out and planning the things I'm doing.
This girl comes to me saying, I'm going to Puerto Rico, I'm going to Honduras, I'm going to Mexico, I'm going to what's the new place you're going to now?
And it's actually, I can't say anything.
Oh, you're not allowed to say it.
It's a little secret.
She's going around the world while meanwhile I'm going to Georgia. No, but still, I'm going to New York.
But still, even then, it's really cool. I think I'm meeting a lot of great people, and I was talking to Mandy that we're surrounded by so many people who are doing so many amazing things, and it's so inspiring. I feel like I've really created a good group of people that I'm around because it's motivating to see so many people, even if they're not in the same career paths as I am, it's so motivating to see so many people pursuing their passions, and it just makes me want to do more. And I just love us being young at this age right now, and that we're all doing things we love to do. So great vibes.
Preach it up. I feel like I already touched on it, but definitely the whole networking, and with me going to Atlanta soon, I've been talking about this trip for the last couple weeks to everybody, and I think that's just what's really good that's going on.
We need to change the episode, navigating networking together.
Yeah, seriously, this is. But yeah, I think I'm so proud of all of us. Look at us go.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna start with question number 1. So, what first got you into music? Has it always been the path you jumped for yourself?
I think I've always been in the performing aspect. I grew up dancing. I started dancing when I was 2 years old, and I started doing theater in middle school. But my family, my mom's side of the family specifically, is a very creative and music-oriented family, I guess. My grandfather and my uncle play the guitar and different instruments. My mom and grandmother are very crafty. And I vividly remember when I was 10 years old, my cousins and I, we made instruments out of recycled water bottles and
that's cool.
cereal
so
boxes,
cool.
and we had a band. It was called Creative Nature Group.
Oh wait,
that works. That's
so
actually a
cute.
good tone.
And it kind of stuck. And I just think having that surrounding and just already being and sort of performing. I didn't start writing music until I hit high school and I saw other people who wrote their own music. But I was always around music.
Mhm. Wow.
That's cool.
I feel like even so in high school and everything, you always were surrounded by people who had like similar like passions as well too. So like you guys all were like, I like it.
What got you into theater? Because there's a lot of people that go strictly into the music industry, and then there's people that do theater and then musical theater, and that's like, I think, its own industry. What kind of guided you into that?
I don't remember exactly. I know there was a dance class I took. I think it was literally a musical theater dance class, and I was like, this is kind of cool. And we used to have like people from the Broward Center who would go do shows there come to our dance studio to teach us like different numbers from their show, and then we'd get free tickets to see their show. And I think like being able to like being introduced that way through dance, and then when I like got to do theater, I was like, wow, I also love to sing. That's kind of crazy. And from there,
A win-win, yeah.
right.
How are you guys born with that? You guys can sing, you guys can dance. Like,
Well,
I feel like you
I
guys...
can't sing.
Oh,
I cannot sing. But I actually, when you said choreograph earlier, I got into choreography for theater. Like, not because I feel like a lot of moms or parents just kind of like put their kids into dance. Like, did your mom
I
do
was in
that?
ballet.
Yeah. So yeah, my mom also put me in ballet, put me in dance, and I just hated it. She always told me that I just didn't like to learn from other people. I always like to create my own things. And so I stopped doing dance. I did sports for the longest time. And then when I got into middle school, I felt like High School Musical, like Troy Bolton, where I was like basketball or theater, because they were both at the same exact time. And I like, all my really good friends were doing theater. I just always ended up being friends with a bunch of theater kids. They were all doing theater, and they were always like, oh, you should join. But then I had basketball. So there was one year, it was my 8th grade year, and I was like, it was literally, I had to quit basketball and audition and risk not getting a role, and then risk also not being able to play, and now I have nothing. Or play basketball and just not audition. And so I auditioned, and I got one of like the lead roles, or like a supporting lead role, and it was such a great experience. Like, that was when my like love for theater began. And then high school started, and high school had like a lot more opportunities of like, you can choreograph this piece, or you can act, or you can direct, or you can do like a pantomime, which is like no talking, and you just act with like your body and facial expressions. And that's where I got my love for theater. And now I miss it because I just do film, but they're all great.
I watched one of Mandy's plays back in high school, and I watched your play, and I love it. And the choreography with just theater-based choreography is always just so
Cool,
fun.
yeah.
It's so fun.
It's so fun. How do you guys like? So did you choreograph that one at all?
For the How to Succeed, it was
Yeah.
me and then Phoebe, one of the
Yes.
people in the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
We met Phoebe.
Yeah.
She's so cool.
Yeah, so her and I choreographed. She was a dance captain at first, and then I was like, "Girlie, I need help, and you're also really good." So she did the two one of the two all girl numbers were Phoebe, and then I did all the other ones.
Oh.
And it was just, I don't know.
Does it just come naturally to your hat? Like, how do you choreograph? Like, how does it come out? Like,
I don't know. It really does come naturally, and then sometimes I'll just get inspired by seeing other things. Like, I was watching. This is it's little insight. You saw Wild Party?
Yes, I saw Wild
So
Party.
there's this one move in one of the numbers that goes like this, and it was like, I saw that in the Disney Channel, in the Zombies, the Disney Channel movie.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
They do that in the movie, and I was like, that's so silly. And then I put that in Wild Party.
Is Wild Party another?
Wild Party was the musical that I met Daphne. This is all our connection.
That's a picture you sent me of behind the scenes.
Yes, I was telling her,
Yes.
this show, if you haven't seen Wild Party, it's a very like sexual,
Interesting show.
tense show. And I was tech for it last year. And I was telling Val, anytime I came home from tech, I was like, they were literally all like having sex with each other on stage. Like, I don't know what's going on. Because also, like, during that time I was editing one of my short films, which Cameron was starring in. And that's all I was doing backstage. So like, unless I was cued to do something for the stage, like, I wasn't paying attention. But I like stopped working, and I looked on stage, and they were all like half naked, like on top of each other. Like, the song was like going at it, and I was like, what is going on? Like, I missed maybe 10 minutes, and this all happened. So yeah, Wild Party
It
was.
was a wild party
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
But the choreo was awesome. Honestly, watching that show made me like flash back to theater and flash back to when I used to choreograph stuff too. And it was like, oh, I miss it so much. I actually talked to Phoebe, like a mutual friend of ours, who does like choreography too. I was telling her about doing choreo for theater again as well, and kind of just like working alongside her. She was like, yeah, like it would be so much fun, blah, blah, blah.
You should
But
definitely do it. I'm also helping.
yeah, we could all
just trying to
choreograph.
take a step back because I need to not be there so much because I graduated. I just keep showing up because I have like a.
You love it, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Hey,
But-
I feel like it's a hobby. I feel like you can turn it into. It's like there's nothing wrong going back. Like you're doing something you love. Like if you enjoy doing it, why stop?
Right, and I'm like super close with like the director and like the people I meet there. So I'm like I really like love being in the class. So it's hard for me to like not be like I was not supposed to be in How to Succeed. I was not in like supposed. I was just supposed to choreograph and it.
That's crazy. You're
Guys, can we put the picture of you and How to Succeed, please?
Yeah.
All right, that picture is going to be inserted right here.
Right there.
Of the play we saw her in.
Yeah.
What was it called? It was How to Succeed.
How to succeed in business without really trying. And I played a man.
Yes, so just...
I mean, Val didn't even recognize you, so you pulled it off so well.
You really did.
Thank you.
Sorry, just my own like curious question. Because you're so into choreography and right now you're doing it locally and you're doing it at the school you graduated, do you want to eventually bring it into your career, bring it to your future, or you want to like solely focus on music? Like where are you bringing your future with that? You know what I mean?
I honestly would be okay doing anything in the anything in the performing aspect, as long as if I'm dancing, singing, like whatever, I'm completely like satisfied with my life. That's why I love like right now I'm able to perform and like write music and choreograph and dance and sing and all this stuff. I would love to like obviously like I'm so focused is my songwriting and like performing and stuff, but if I'm like doing choreography somewhere on the side in the future, like awesome, like
Any opportunity basically.
exactly.
And as long as you're you're still doing your passions. It may not be like your actual career or whatever
Right.
you're doing, but you're still doing everything that you that you love to do. So I feel like you're still achieving it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, okay, now I get into the second question. So, you've named a couple different things. You do choreography, you do songwriting, you sing, you perform. In your opinion, what would you say takes the most of your energy doing, and then which one do you enjoy the most? So, two different questions.
I would say most energy. I mean, like dancing, because like
Yeah.
physically, like,
Right.
but and enjoy the most. I enjoy it all, but I do really enjoy songwriting because I just love being able to be so creative with words, like, and like there's certain like, for for example, like Taylor Swift. I'm a big Taylor Swift fan. I love
my gosh,
and, like,
I didn't even realize.
Represent.
And like the way that she like writes her lyrics, like it's so interesting, and just like the different songwriters in general, and I love that. And so like I always try to be so interesting like with my lyrics. That's terrible describing of what I'm trying to say.
No,
I'd like add some more symbolism and like
Yeah.
Easter eggs too, because my mom's a big Taylor Swift fan, so she tells me all about Taylor Swift and what she puts in her songs.
Guys,
and her
I need to like dissect Taylor Swift's lyrics because everyone like
Sure.
Taylor Swift is like popping right now,
Yeah.
and like I've always like back in the day her like mainstream songs like yeah sure like I can bop to them, but like I need to dissect them because everybody's like whew.
Yeah, I hear she's like a musical genius. Like I'm like you. Like Taylor Swift is great, her music's great, but there's Swifties out there that I know dissect her stuff, and she really like puts in the work and like the thought and the little things to make it all connect. Like my mom is obsessed. Like she loves it, and so it's cool to hear my mom, who's not in the arts, has never gotten into that route, find that so interesting and find like passion within that. So it was cool.
Yeah, and I also think that with music, I'm always just like listen to music and like I love what it like the energy it brings out. I like to dance to music like very like that. But even my boyfriend like he likes his rap music and whatnot. But like we'll be listening to it and he's like, did you hear that though? Did you hear that? And he'll like recite it to me and he's like it was just so good. And so it's like I need to start like the fact that like if your music you're throwing little egg baskets in there, maybe I'll have to try to like dissect it
We're gonna
too.
dissect your music. Yeah.
Okay. I do like throwing little Easter eggs in my songs, and there is 2 songs I have where I say every time I play in a set I have them back to back because I reference the other song in one of them.
Oh, that's cool.
And I just think it's so fun.
Yeah, it adds a little puzzle to it while you're listening.
And then in the future, when it, fingers crossed, it does become your career and you're able to like excel in that, it's gonna be really cool for fans to look at that, Or even Val and I were like, we did a podcast episode with Lex Dixon and we know all this and that, so it'll be really cool.
All right, so on to question number 3. So I kind of touched on it a little bit by asking how you come up with choreography, but kind of what is your creative process like? How do you like to capture and record your ideas? And do you have a point in the artistic process where you kind of always get like stuck?
That's a good question. I kind of just get ideas. A lot of the time I get them from like either other things like watching like movies or like reading or just like listening to other songs. I'll get ideas from that when it comes to both like choreography and songwriting. And then sometimes I'll just have like a random phrase in my head and suddenly an entire song will pour out. A lot of the songs I like will write in the car. I'm not even kidding, I have over 400 voice memos on my phone of just like either full songs, either like a sentence or just like a melody in my head. And like
you
sometimes
just have to record it.
yeah, because otherwise I'll forget. I have the worst like memory ever. And sometimes I'll go back to it and like finish it. Sometimes I'll just forget they're there and they'll just be
Just
in the
sitting
archives.
in there, and then maybe one day you'll revisit it again.
Right, exactly. So I always like write songs when I'm not trying to write a song, but when I'm
Those are the best, yeah.
Because it comes naturally. It comes naturally.
right. And then when I get stuck is when I'm like, I really need to write a song right now for like this thing. Cannot think of a single thing.
Yeah, I like relate to that in the sense of like writing a script. So like to me the best ideas come genuinely when you're not thinking about it. It'll just like randomly pop up, or like if we're talking. But then when I have an assignment and it's like you have to do this or that, it just
That's
doesn't
when
come.
I come out and help everybody.
I actually
She'll be like, no, continue.
there was like an assignment that I had for school, and like I just couldn't think of any good, like I had like this general idea, but I didn't know how to branch off. I didn't know how to get into the details, and I was stuck. And I talked to Val about it. I was just kind of explaining to her, and then we literally sat here on the couch and just started
throwing ideas out
throwing
there.
ideas, and she was like, wait, what about this and what about that? And I was like, yeah, what about this, what about that? And it came out. So and now it's on my YouTube channel, but check out Don't Swallow is what it's called. But yeah, it was good. And so, but I definitely feel those moments of just the natural ones that come out of nowhere are going to be the most raw, the best. And then sometimes you need a little help for the ones that you need right there and then.
Yeah, I also fun little fact, just because I was thinking about it while you were saying that. I also used to write like scripts and stuff, and like I obviously like I do songwriting, but I also like I took a playwriting class in high school, and then that like a summer camp I used to go to, I would write like all the plays for it that we would do just for like fun, or just like because I enjoy writing, and I do want to like I have so many like book ideas or like things I've started and then just like never finished, but it's just because like I like writing. I don't know.
You do all of the above.
Yeah, you clearly do it. Everything. Like this is so cool.
So when you do get stuck, do you have like a method that maybe releases you from the stress and like makes you stop thinking about it, or you just
need to like close your book and like give it time?
A little bit of both. Sometimes I just need a break, or just like I sit there until hope I get something, or leave it, come back to it. Sometimes I'll leave and forget about it, but yeah.
Cool. That's okay. Okay, so I'll get into our next question. So you and I are kind of within the same industry. It has its many difficulties. It has its I feel like it's pros and cons. But if you feel like there was anything that you could possibly change within the industry, what would it be? And specifically what industry? Because you do a lot of things. So you could pick an industry and say what you'd probably want to change about it.
I feel like the biggest thing, and I was thinking about it yesterday when I was like figuring out what I was going to say for the questions, is mainly just like how women are treated in all the like music and film and like everything, just the way that they're treated and compared to like for like men. And like I'm terrible at explaining it. I just know like I just really wish that like why can't like I'm terrible at explaining it.
No,
But you know what, like
it's okay. I get what you're meaning all the time. I'm here with you. Give an example.
Yeah, you were about to give an example.
Yes.
Totally. And of course, it definitely has nothing to do with Taylor Swift. I mean, that's just that's the easiest I can think of, because like she just writes music for how she feels and stuff, but like people takes everything the wrong way, like, oh, she's writing about this and this, and like
all she does is write about men, all she does is
Right.
write about is love and this, and they kind of like degrade her in a way because of it.
She'll be seen with like a guy, and then like, any celebrity, like they'll be seen with a guy and like, oh my god, they're dating. I'm like, leave them alone.
Yeah.
Like, it just bothers me the way that they're treated differently. Like, if a man did something like that, like, oh, people praise him for doing whatever, versus like a woman, they're tear her down.
It also doesn't help that in your industry there's a giant spotlight on you. And it's
Right.
like everything that you're doing is like all your mistakes, all the things that you do, your love life. We all have, we all have some sort of love life going on, but now it's in the spotlight, and now people are using and they're comparing your work to it as well. Like I feel like there's a difference between your career and there's a difference between your personal life, but because you're in the spotlight, they kind of use it against you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. And I've definitely been already experiencing it. Unfortunately, it's just the way that men can, and I'm not degrading men. There are great men out there. I don't want to sound like a woman that's like, hate all men. But within the industry, it's definitely, you are preyed upon, and I know that's a strong word, but I've experienced it myself plenty of times. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to use one of your examples. Didn't you say when you went to one of your festivals or?
Yeah, I was literally just about to get that. Yeah, so I went to, I'm sure I brought it up a couple times now. I went to a film festival in Tampa. Great experience. It was amazing. I went with one of my really good friends. And, for these festivals, you have to dress to impress. You have to look good. Because you don't know who you could be talking to producer-wise. And a look and the way that you present yourself is very important, especially based off first impression. That being said, although there was a lot of great women producers and directors that I was meeting and I was making good impression, there was a lot of men that kind of just seeked me and my friend as like models or actresses. And when we were like, no, we're two directors, like two filmmakers, they were very taken back. They were very almost shocked. And it's like, why? Like, it's almost, we're looked at as just a pretty face and just the face of what they create. And it's like, no, we can be behind the camera. We want to create. Like, I personally hate being in front of the camera. I try to avoid acting. I try to, like, when I do photo shoots, people ask me like, hey, do you want me to take pictures of you? And I'm like, no. This is why I'm the photographer. You be the model. You look great. It's just like, there's no need for it to be the stereotype of like, women can work and direct and do all the like down and dirty things is the best way I can explain it, just like men can. So I completely agree with that sense. And it's getting better, but it also has its moments of just like,
Explain that way better than I would.
No.
I was just going in a circle.
No, but we got what you were trying to say, so like that's what
Listen,
matters.
if you had to use Taylor Swift, then you use Taylor Swift. That was a great reference, actually, because it's true. Like, and she's a very, I think, dominating, great, like, successful woman.
I think also, hey, Selena Gomez, for the longest time, like, how many times are we going to bring up Justin Bieber? I mean, they dated however long ago, and she's so much more than that. She's done music, she's done shows, she's done movies, she's directed too. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
so
directed,
like,
produced. Yeah.
She's done so much, and it just always goes back to Justin Bieber and like she cared. They got married, and she's doing this, and like the songs and whatever. I don't know, but it's just like. It's just always about that, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah, and it bothers me, like, anytime, like, I see, like, the press, that's my biggest thing. It's just, like, the way they'll completely turn the story around, or, like, my biggest thing is, like, going in, like, the grocery store and then seeing some magazine about, like, Taylor or, like, Selena or, like, any celebrity that's, like, completely untrue, and, like, that's what the press does, but I'm, like, leave them alone.
Yeah,
like,
and it's frustrating that those headlines is what grabs people's attentions,
right.
Like, there's always going to be, like, those headlines, even of, like, of the body types of like a lot of the celebrities when they're like I've seen like I think it was like Camila Cabello coming out of the ocean or something like that, or maybe Selena, I don't know, one of them, and it was just like, oh, they've been depressed because of such and so, and they've gained weight.
Like, you don't know anything that's going on in their lives.
She was just crouched. I'm like, do you guys not have a little something come out when you're crouched and you're kind of like getting out? Like you don't always look the best when we're coming out of the water. It's not a movie,
Val and I always are complaining sometimes about the way we look in our podcast episodes because we're
you're comfortable.
We're comfortable. We're a little slouched, and like that's normal. Like, it's completely okay.
But then it's just this whole story that they're depressed and they've been eating and they've been doing whatever. And but the thing is, like, that's what comes up on my TikTok. That's what comes up on whatever. And then it gets added to another story and another story. And it's like back again to the Justin Bieber and the Hailey Bieber thing. There was like they were just messing around and like hitting each other or something. And they were like, oh, Justin Bieber's abusive and this, that, the third. And I'm just
so
like,
silly.
It's so that's a
What about your industry? Do you feel that med is? How do you feel?
I feel like it's definitely growing. It's definitely we're definitely breaking that barrier for sure. When I went to India, we actually asked them that question. It's still I think a big thing in a lot of careers that we're fighting against. But when I went to India and I asked the female doctors, and I was like, you know, how do you guys, how do the women in these careers like? Why am I not speaking right? How do the women in these careers, like, compared to the men, like, is it easy? Is it easier? Is it harder? And they were like, I don't know what you're talking about. We do great over here. Like, they were like, if anything, there's more women doctors than men doctors here. And when I actually met, there was actually all of the heads, besides maybe like two of the heads of the OBGYN specialty, cardiology specialty, most of them were women. And it was actually really impressive to see. And they were like, yeah, we have our lives, but we're kicking it, you know, we're handling everything. So that was really impressive to see. And I think now as I'm like working with people in like my pre-med classes, I see a lot of women doing it. So I think we're being very capable and we're fighting against the statistics and we're beating the numbers.
I feel like that's so validating too, just to like see that, like be in your position and see like all these women be like, wow, they can do it, like I can do it
Yeah,
too.
because that was my biggest question. I was like, I'm going to med school. I'm going to be working crazy hours. I'm going to be studying crazy hours. How am I going to start a family? How's that whole process going to play? Like, you know, like I want to also be there and like watch my kids grow up and do that whole thing, but I also really care about my career and I want that to be a big part of my life as well. And they were like, you can do it. It's more than capable, more than you know, we're able to do so many things. Yeah, you might need to take a little break here and there, but you're more than able to pursue your dreams. And so that was really inspiring to see. And it was so inspiring to see that they thought it was so funny that we would ask a question like that, because they were like, what do you mean? Like, it's always been this way. So that was cool. But off to the last question, and it's a very small question, but we kind of know. But what's kind of your next step?
Well, I've been recording a song that I will be putting out very soon.
Oh gosh.
I am I'm hopefully working towards doing like an EP or album of some sort, but right now it's just be a little single that I'm going to be dropping hopefully within the next few weeks. It's just finished and I just listened to like the final product today.
Oh,
so I'm very excited.
You gotta keep us posted because we'll totally promote you and help you out.
This may take a little while to be posted, so
yeah,
it might be at the same. It might be around the same time. We could put this at the end of the. No, who knows?
We'll see.
Anyway, yeah. Well, yeah. So I'm working on that, just doing more gigs and continuing to get myself out there. Pretty much.
Just waiting for an opportunity, right? Just keep growing, and
exactly.
I get that completely.
Keep reaching out to people, doing your thing.
Keep DMing people.
Is that your guys' main form of contacting, through like Instagram DMs and stuff?
Yeah, definitely Instagram.
Instagram has been crazy. Like, I never realized how good the Instagram kind of fell off for a fat minute, at least for me. And then like I really got back into it because of networking, and it's such a great tool because you could see pretty much a quick little portfolio of people's work through your profile,
right?
Instead of going to a website and then digging yourself.
Like people all the information. Really
it's right there, yeah. And then you just DM.
And people have like more information in their bios.
Exactly,
and their,
yeah.
Little links and everything, so you kind of have like.
And then you could see who they follow, and it's like you can't do all that through a website, so it's really helpful.
Honestly, and networking is just, I find it so entertaining. Like, I'll just be on Instagram scrolling, and I'll just be like, DMing people or like following people or looking at people's like accounts and stuff, and I'm just like, it's just fun. But and I definitely think it is very like more helpful versus like emailing someone and like never knowing if they reply back. Or, like,
because emails also get lost in spam. People also just choose.
That way on Instagram you can see if they saw it or not. Exactly. It's kind of like yes, they saw it. Oh, no response, or it's like,
okay, you're lost.
Yeah, literally, that's the mentality to have. But well, best of luck, Lex. Got it.
This was really cool. Really, you're added to another person that I love seeing doing amazing things around. And Mandy's introducing me to people that can be really famous around here. This is really cool. I
have a bunch of crazy people always in this apartment doing something.
I expect to be invited to a red carpet or something one day, everybody.
One day.
Anyways, but it was really nice meeting you.
Me too.
And we would love to have you on again whenever that time may be.
Yeah, you come back again when you have a couple EPs out.
Oh yeah, I got you.
But anyways, this is We're All Strangers podcast.
Navigating life together.
And to finish us off.
Bye everybody.